It is easy to think negative thoughts more often than not, but that is not always a bad thing. There are ways to find a balance and turn negative thoughts into something a little more positive. Here to tell us how is body-mind analyst Suzanne Masefield. Kia ora, Suzanne. Thanks for being with us. Why do we think so many negative thoughts?
Well, we think between 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts a day, so there's an awful lot of those, and up to 80% of those can be negative. So it's actually quite a lot.
That's a huge number.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Is it just human nature?
Nature and nurture, some of the environment that we're in, but also I think how the brain works has a lot to do with it, and where we give focus to. So when we're focused on things that aren't working for us, we build that muscle. When we're focused on things that are working for us, we build that muscle.
Okay, yeah.
But it can work for us.
It can work for us. How can it work for us?
Well, our instinctive ability is to keep safe and protect ourselves. So what happens is we think, oh God, it's not going to be safe to do something, walking dark and down an alley on your own. So you protect yourself. So that's not a bad thing. Using that to put a safety belt on in the car instead of having an accident, all those types of things. So to keep yourself safe. It also is your guidance system. So whatever you're thinking negatively, part of the equation of that is what you do want. Yeah,
right. So you can try and use that as a way to identify the more positive things that you would like.
Yeah, it helps you get focus.
Yeah.
You know, so many people say to me, I ask them what they want, you know, when we're coaching.
Yeah.
And they say, oh, I don't really know. And I say, well, what do you want? What don't you want? And so quickly they can tell me a list of all the things they don't want.
Yeah.
And the opposite of that is what you do want. So it's a really good way
how do you narrow it down though? How do you go, right, I know absolutely that these are all the things I don't want. These are the things I feel negatively about. How do you work out the positive things?
It's a process of elimination, and the first thing you've got to think about is awareness. So checking in with your thoughts, you know, where is your barometer? What direction are you focused in? Is it working for you or is it not? And actually doing that at check-in points throughout the day. Then we need to actually think about updating the pattern. You know, actually pattern interrupt when we catch ourselves with a negative thought. And what most people do when they have a negative thought and they're trying to retrain them is beat themselves up. So they continue the negative thought.
I'm having a negative thought. You get into a terrible spiral.
Yeah, so we have to stop the judgment. And the best thing you can do is take a breath, acknowledge yourself for catching and noticing the negative thought.
Okay.
And then we want to do something different. So go for a walk, get a cup of tea, do 10 star jumps, or think about, you know, this negative thought bubble and actually do a physical thing. Imagine popping it.
Okay, like do that.
Yep,
physically do that, yeah.
To actually pop it, or imagine tipping the top of your head open and tipping the thought out. You know, if you actually do something physical, it can really help make a difference to pattern interrupt.
And how quickly, in your experience, Suzanne, can people change this process?
It's literally like building a muscle. You know, the right-hand side of the brain is where we create negativity. The left-hand brain is where we actually start creating positivity. So we can build those, you know, the less we give focus to the negative or noticing it and then reframing it. That's what we want to do, reset. And actually go, how could this work for me? You know, is this keeping me safe? Is this helping me adjust to decide which direction I want to go in? And what one thing could this work for me? How could this work for me? You know, that's something to really think about, because it can work for you too.
Well, wonderful advice.
It's about being your own best friend.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much, Suzanne. You take care. That is breakfast for today. We are back a popo from 6. Until then, hey, konera.
See you then.